In a world of large luxury sedans, there's only two names that really come to mind, and that's Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the BMW 7 Series. Now, Lexus has come close with their LS, but was never able to do head-to-head with those two. And Genesis, since the inception of the brand, has always had the aspiration to be the best at the large luxury sedan market. However, if you look at the history, it didn't quite fare very well. First with their Equus brand, and then with the previous generations of the G90. Now this is a 2023 G90. Can this one compete with the two top luxury sedans? Well, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle, and you'll be the judge. And let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this newest addition to the Genesis family? And this is all thanks to Ghetto Genesis of Lakewood, Florida. Thanks for providing this vehicle and making this video possible. If this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt here, and Matt the Carguy. I post 2 car reviews every single week. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave me a like. Like many other manufacturers, Genesis is trying to stay consistent with the brand. No matter which vehicle you choose from, you can right away tell that it is a Genesis brand. So it looks completely different than the outgoing G90. You can see that especially right here in this front end. You're looking at this big crest grille that it's in this smoked chrome color, really nice, large, a lot of open spaces, helping with cooling off these engine. Same thing at the bottom of it. Now this is matte black. You do have a large Genesis logo. The hood itself, it's pretty large. It has this V-shaped indent in the middle of it, makes it for this more luxury, more aggressive look too. And this is right here. This is what makes a Genesis right now. Those double stacked lights, fully LED. You can see them blinking in amber. They also serve as a daytime running lights. They're all white, and the full-on LED lamps. Now, as far as the engines, Genesis dumped the V8 that they had as one of the choices in the previous gen. So let's see what powers up this thing. Right away, you can see how large this hood is by looking at it. It does have this sort of a clamshell design. You can see how it opens up on the side of this vehicle. I do like that it's lifted by those struts on both sides. It does have some noise insulation. But in the heart of it, Genesis has 2 engine options. The base one is a 3.5 turbocharged liter engine, and that produces about 375 horsepower. And then we have this, which is basically a 3.5 liter turbo GDI, an electric supercharger, which bumps up the horsepower to 409 and 405 foot-pounds of torque. Now you can see the added braces for more rigidity and better ride-on. By the way, this is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle is a 4-wheel drive, so it could be a very nice driving experience. I'll check that out at the end of this video. And here's the side profile of this Genesis. Definitely looks large, it looks elegant, it looks stately almost. 208 inches, this is how long this vehicle is. And one thing that definitely pops right away on it are those 2 turn signals, double stacked turn signals, kind of a continuation of these lights. We've seen it on the G80 and the GV80. And I do like this rim design. Although they had it on different models before, I kind of wish they did something a little bit extra special for their flagship model, but they look pretty cool. They're two-tone, they're 21-inch rims, 245 by 40. That's what you have as far as the tire size. And then you do have the surroundings of the windows in this kind of satin chrome. This is not a super shiny chrome. Of course, you don't have a turn signal on the mirror. That would be an overkill, but you do have a camera right inside underneath here. You do have the blind spot assist. What's new also for this model year are these flush mounted door handle. See, I just touched it, it closed off, and it turned folded in the mirror. Then you do have some chrome accents right at the bottom, as well as top off the door handles as well. And this large rear door tells you that this can be the vehicle to be driven around with. And now let's move to the back and see what hides there. Here we are in the back of this vehicle. I do like it. It's stylish, it's elegant. Kind of reminds me of the shape of the lights of the new S-Class Mercedes-Benz, although the lights are completely different. See, this is all LED one-piece. Mercedes-Benz has a bunch of little LEDs in there, which looks also very good. Four-wheel drive Genesis. In the middle, G90, you do have the rear view camera. There's a little button to open up the trunk, which we're gonna do in just a bit. You do have the reflector lights, a little bit of this chrome trim, quite large exhausts on both sides, and then you have this mesh trim piece at the bottom finished off with the chrome. Now, in order to pop this open, all you have to do is either press the button on the remote or on the hood itself, and let's check out how much room we have. So here's the trunk space. It is large, but not as deep as I would imagine it to be, but that's maybe because you do have this massive battery pack right underneath here, and we need that for this electric supercharger. I believe that's what it's for. Now, the seats don't fold down, but you do have this pass-through. Once you open that console, you can open this up and stick something longer inside if you needed to. Other than that, you do have the close or lock. I'm gonna close it but not lock it right now. Definitely tons of room sitting in the back. As you can see, I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room, and check this out. Look how much room I have in front of my knees. Now, this front seat is adjusted to my regular driving position, so definitely no shortage of room if you wanted to be driven around. And this interior is a game changer for Genesis, in my opinion. Well, let me show this to you. Starting with the rear door panel over here, you can see how luxurious this vehicle is. You do have the automatic sunshades for both windows in the back. Very nice looking trim. I'm not sure what it's made of. And then right underneath, you can see this lights, the ambient lighting, one of the 10 colors that you can choose from. Bang & Olufsen 3D stereo. That's what we have on this particular model. And what's interesting, you do have 2 memory seat settings. You do have the rest mode, which I'm going to press and show you that in just a second. You also have the massage seats in the back. You do have the window controls, and then this is to open up the door. So instead of having the regular door handle, you have this little push button. Once you press it, it's just gonna unlatch the door, open it up about an inch or so, then you can push it open. And in case the battery goes dead, you do have the fail safe right underneath here. This is your regular door handle. Bang & Olufsen, again, this is the stereo. Once you get inside of this, first of all, you get greeted by this Genesis logo right on the door sill, and check out these seats. Now, if you think this was cool, if you hit this rest mode over here, check this out, what's happening right here. The seat reclines to the position that you're comfortable with. But before I sit in this comfortable seat, let's check this out. Leather all the way. You have the perforated in the middle. You have the tubing that's different color, the white tubing, the white contrast stitching, and this is all heated and ventilated. And if that wasn't cool enough, check this out. You can control the seats, first of all, right from this console over here, so you can move them, and then you have all kinds of controls. Let me jump inside, I'll show you the rest. And this is how much room you'd have if you're sitting behind the driver's seat. That's adjusted to a 6-foot person position. The seat itself is pretty nice too. It does have the same trim as on the door itself. You do have a little bit of this aluminum trim, and I want to point something out. So you do have the vents that are on the column itself. You also have the vents in the console. So definitely, as far as the climate control, you know, they pay attention to pretty much everything. Now, if you look up on top, you do have an illuminated mirror that, you know, has this film on, so I don't want to take that off, but this is a mirror. You do have 1, 2, 3 speakers right in the middle, because you do have this Bang & Olufsen 3D stereo. And if you look at the console itself, there is also a set of vents, a 12-volt power adapter, and a USB-C type port that can be closed to be out of the way. If you did need a cup holders, there's a set of cup holders that's hidden in this multi-function console, and this is what we have. So you can see that the passenger can adjust pretty much all of the settings over here. Let's tap it so I get it started. Here's your home screen, so you do have the climate control settings. As you can see, this is specifically for the rear seats, and you can see the position of where the air is coming out of. You do have the dual zone climate control in the back, dual in the front, so that's a quad zone climate control. Everything is easy to adjust. If you wanted to check out the seats, so let's see, there's different adjustments for the seats. I'm sitting right over here, so we can do a recline on this seat. We can adjust the position of it, which I'm doing right now, and you can do a little different bolsters, like if you wanted to, or this is actually a lumbar, I'm sorry. So this is your lumbar support, and here's your bolster support to make it tighter, to make it looser, depending on what your comfortable position is. Definitely nice adjustment for the seat. Now, this is a pretty cool feature. If you hit this door button, which means it enables the door opening button, so all I have to do is push this over here, and there you go. It opens up just slightly, not all the way. It opens up about a few inches, and then I can push it open if I wanted to. Now, of course, if I press the button, it closes by itself. So that is a nice and luxurious feature. Now, another feature that you have for the seats is you do have the different types of massages, and you have 3 different strengths of massage in each of them. So you have this, they don't say the names over here, but then you have the middle section, basically the bottom section, the upper section, or the full back massage, if you will. And you can set the duration for 10, 15, or 20 minutes, and then it's going to turn off. Another feature that we have here is, of course, you can open and close those automatic sunshades, which, you know, I showed you on the door, but you also have one in the back, and you can also open that one on the roof. So if we hit this open, you know, everything can be opened or closed depending to your liking. I'm going to leave it closed right now just because we don't want too much glare on it when I'm showing you the rest of this vehicle. And then of course the lights. Now you have the temperature of the light, which is pretty cool. So you have the cool or warm temperature of the light. So it's not different colors, it's just what you prefer. And then you have the radio mute media. So we had the radio button, and nothing happens over here, but what happens is it shows up right in this main infotainment system, which is kind of strange because I mean, I don't have the best eyesight, so I would have to control it from here, but you can switch to a different radio stations, and you can adjust the volume, and you can adjust pretty much anything as far as the media. Hit the mute button over here, then again it shows in the front that it's muted, and then you have your different media. Now I can present actually the sounds of nature, which I can unmute basically, and we're gonna get this played through this 3D system. Now this is the Snowy Village, which basically, as I call it, this is the creepy guy behind you in the Snowy Village. Now I don't know how to adjust anything other than volume on here, but I believe if I hit the media one more time, I can do that. Well, not really. Anyways, well, this is something probably that needs to be worked on. I wish that whatever you do on here would be displayed right over here, maybe with the exception of the navigation system, which, by the way, I don't have any control for the navigation system, and I think as a passenger this would be a nice feature to have, where you can set up your navigation from the rear seat and send it to the driver. As you can see, the screen goes to this sleep mode basically after a little bit of inactivity, and then down here you have the seek channel on the other side, volume and power, radio, mute and media, and then wireless charging. Inside here, very little storage, not too much, and then you have the 2 USB Type-C ports. And that is it. This is nice and comfortable for the passenger. Now we'll jump in the front because there's a whole other ball game in there. So normally what I do in this segment is close the door and listen for the sound to establish the quality. I have a feeling that with all this electronics, this vehicle will prevent me from doing this. So I'm going to pull on the door handle, open it up and see if I can close it. No, it stops me, it soft closes the door, and then it sounds the sound that the vehicle is on and I have the key in my pocket. But let's take a quick look on the front door panel. I do like this trim, not sure what it's called, but it looks pretty awesome. Bang & Olufsen system. Now here's the adjustments or memory seat settings 1, 2, and 3, and this is an interesting button. So this is a passenger button. Once you have this on, you can use the driver's seat control to adjust the passenger seat. Here's your massage function, and here's your window lock mirror controls. Underneath here, you can open the trunk over here. Here's your door handle or release for the door, Bang & Olufsen stereo, and this is how many adjustments you have on this seat for either the driver or passenger, because you can adjust both of them. The seats are a little bit more aggressive than in the back. I do like the design of it. I see how high the bolsters are at the bottom, but they're pretty wide, so you can fit quite large person in here. And when I got in there last time, it actually closed the door behind me. So let's see if it's gonna do it again. See, I'm not touching anything. Press the door. Woo! I press the brake pedal as I'm ready to drive, and the door closes automatically. Now the vehicle is running right now, so let's check out what we have here. So we have two 12.3-inch screens, one of them for your instrument cluster, of course the other one is for the infotainment system. And here's the rest of this vehicle. I like the way it looks. I like this 3D sound by Bang & Olufsen. You can see it right over there on both corners. You can see those speakers that are extending from this dashboard. You also have a head-up display right over here. Now I don't know if you can see it, but right now it says 0 miles per hour and the speed limit, which says nothing because we're in the parking lot. Now, as far as the electronics, all of the Genesis model have tons of it, and that's of course including this one, because this being a flagship, it has to have the most. So take a look at the steering wheel. It's rather large. Of course it's tilted telescoping, and it is power adjusted, so we can raise it, lower it. And you know, I do like the design of it. Kind of different, the shape the same, but it's a different placement of buttons than on the G80, for example, or the SUV series. And you have a lot of customization going on here. First of all, you do have the Genesis logo right here, and then you have one button that can be customized, second button that can be customized, and the third button that can be customized. And it all displays right over here. So as I'm pressing these buttons, you can see what functions you can assign to them, which is a very nice feature. A lot of fingerprints are going to be left on those piano black buttons though. You can see the cruise control button, the dynamic cruise control button. You can also have your lane keep assist, and on this side you have the volume button, voice control, and then you control what's going on basically in 1/3 of this instrument cluster. So you can see the sounds of nature are playing right now, but if I wanted to do something else, I'm pretty sure it can be done. I just don't know how. So here's your first 12.3-inch screen, and I apologize for the glare. Let me reposition the vehicle a little bit, see if we can get a better angle at it. Well, I hope this is a little bit better. So this is one of that 12.3-inch screen. That's of course your instrument cluster. By the way, before we get to it, let me show you that they have the pedal shifters on both sides of the steering wheel. You also have the ability to open the trunk from here, and on the other side you do have your brightness adjustment. Kind of an awkward placing, but I guess this is pretty cool. Now, as you can see, that these two screens virtually have no hood on them, so Hyundai, or Genesis in this case, says that they're bright enough not to need one, and you know, they kind of are. They still have some glare, and as you can see, reflection on it. So what do we have here? It says press the OK button to press all the widgets. So we're pressing the OK button, and it's next. Now we can swipe the widgets, which is on the right hand side, which I don't need that, but let's see what kind of customization we have, because this is basically a standard one. So now I can change the drive modes on this vehicle, and let's see if it changes anything as far as the display. So yes, so we switched that to, we're gonna hit next, and to not show again. Okay, so now this is basically your sports drive mode. And as you can see on the right hand side, tachometer, left hand side, you have the speedometer. I'm not sure if you can see how the idles are or how the hands are. They're kind of this burning lava hands, which adds to the sportiness of the mode, I guess. But it's the same in all the modes, I believe. Let's see. We'll switch it to the eco mode, and that doesn't change. So maybe I have to check it out in the settings and make sure that that is changing with the drive modes, because right now comfort, sport, and comfort, sport, and eco are the same. Now let's see what other customization we have, and it doesn't give me a lot. Right in the middle, we can hold to do settings, and that opens up in the infotainment system. Now you have the trip meter, mode change, hold settings. This is pretty much it. Really? Does it have my favorite feature? Yep. Turn the turn signal to the right. Blind spot monitor opens up on the right hand side. Same thing on the left. This is pretty cool. Not much customization. I thought it would have more in here, but I'm sure it has tons right in the infotainment system. So first of all, you can control it several different ways. You can control it by touchscreen, which what I just did. This is your main menu, and I like it. I do like the setup on it. It's completely different than what you've seen on any other vehicles. And you can see map, destination, phone projection, voice memo, phone setup, 3D setup, etc. Let's hit map and let's see how it looks. Pretty nice, pretty responsive. Now for some reason it shows in the night mode, but it's still very vivid. Destination, phone projection. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay is available using a USB cable. Come on. This is a expensive vehicle. Voice memo, phone, 3D setup. A nice little car pulling up here. Let's see what we have. So we have the driver assistance that opens up all the driver's assistance feature that you can turn on or off. You can see for driving convenience, speed limit warning, warning timing, warning volume, driver attention warning, etc. Tons of different settings that you can adjust. Forward cross traffic safety. You can do warning only, off. Why would you turn it off? This is for your help. Lights. Okay, brightness, this is for ambient lighting, so this is not for the exterior lighting. Brightness, you can set up to whatever brightness you would like, and you can kind of see the animation where the lights are on. It's really hard to see, but I hope you saw it when I was playing with the console in the back, because this is different. Link to drive mode, we can do the lights as far as link to drive mode. Headlight delay, high beam assist, welcome mirror light, one touch turn signal. Those are all the light settings that you have. Then you have the see inside. And here's we have the cluster. So we can do link to drive mode. See, this was unlinked. So now since I have this on, let's see how the cluster changes over here. And we're in the eco mode. There you go. No longer do we have this burning lava gauges. Comfort, same thing, just a little bit bluer. And then here you go. This is your sport mode. This is where we are before. So this is a pretty cool adjustment. So here's your cluster controls, right? Content selection. You can set up of what's visible in front of you, cluster voice volume, etc. Head-up display. You can enable, disable it. Display adjustment control, content selection. So this is what can be displayed or what's displayed in the head-up display. Go back. Vehicle settings. Again, this brings you up to the shortcuts, which I like how they solve this, right? So people can visually see of what's what. And this is a shortcut to the shortcuts, which is awesome. So driver assistance, drive modes, active sound design, largest change, head-up display, cluster. Again, climate control. Again, this goes to your settings for the climate control, automatic ventilation, defog, defrost option, fragrance. Now see, it's off right now because we don't have the cartridge installed, but you can have different cartridges with different types of scent. Now, this is not something new. Mercedes has been doing that for years, but this is new to Hyundai or Genesis. And then, you know, we can go outside and see outside. But one of their features that we didn't see is the seat controls. And here you are. So switch touch and control alert, switch control alert, massage, driver seat, passenger seat, second row seats, ergo motion seat, smart posture care. So if you enter the driver's information, it will adjust the seat to what the vehicle thinks is a perfect position for you, which doesn't really agree with my perfect position. But here's the other thing. Since we're talking about the seats, let's check this out. So right now, I'm going to enable the passenger seat settings. And, you know, I'm going to use these controls over here to move the driver's seat. See, it's moving back, forwards. I can do all the adjustments on the seat from the driver's side, which makes it really comfortable if you want to especially accommodate somebody that's sitting in the back. So this is a very cool feature. And now let's go back to the home screen and let's go. So here's your radio, and you have the AM, FM, and Sirius XM. These are your choices. Your media, well, let's check out the sounds of nature, which, you know, you do have several of them. So let's do the rainy day. Let's get this volume pumped up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like it's raining inside. Or if you're in the toilet, bathroom. All right, well, let's switch that to the open air cafe. Definitely a 3D sound, no question about it. You know, I'm sure that the volume is not going to do its justice when it's playing through my camera to your computer screen, but basically this is pretty nice. Let's get out of here. So this is your media, climate control. You know, again, we've seen it in the back, something very similar to the front. So here's your animation. Where's the vents, or where's the air coming out of? And like here, right now, we have it set up on low for the driver, 70 for the passenger, 86 degrees outside, and you can see that there's much cooler air coming out of these vents right here than the vents on the side. And again, this is the different positioning of the vents, which there's tons of. So you can select different ones, select the different temperature, and there you go. This is pretty nice. Let's go back to the main screen. And here's another feature that I haven't seen really in many of the other cars. Well, Mercedes has a similar thing to it. Now, I haven't done the new BMW 7 Series, but the old one certainly didn't have it. Now, the mood curator. So you have vitality, delight, care, and comfort. And what it does, it's check this out. So it changes the music, lighting, ambient lighting, massage. It either opens or closes the visors in the back, and if it had the fragrance, it would also enhance it with a certain fragrance that you have. So you have vitality. Let's start this and let's see right now in vitality, all of the shades opened up, and here's the animation that you have playing in the screen for you. Nice universe. Let's see the noise that it makes. All right, so this is your vitality. Let's get out of here and let's check out something else. So let's see care. Let's do care and let's hit start. And right away you can see the blinds go up. Now I can right away feel the massage on my back. And let's see what music we have playing with this. Now that's all very relaxing and pretty cool. I'm gonna leave that in because I do like the massage function. But let's see what else do we have. Let's get out of here. So this is your mood curator. Here's your seats. And then again, you can do the passenger seat right now. If I wanted to adjust it as far as the massage or cushion support, I can go back and select the driver's seat or the rear seats. And so this is a lot of features you can adjust from here. Quiet mode, the radio is played only in the front seats and the volume is limited to a quiet level settings in the back. Connected services, valet mode, let's see what that is. We need to have the subscription for it. And the manual, that does give you a QR code. Some of the vehicles do give you a full on manual on here. So this is basically your infotainment system. It does have quite a few features that we haven't seen on Genesis before. Definitely is nice and premium. Now, is it premium enough to compare to Mercedes-Benz MBUX, the newest generation, which has tons of different features of it? I don't know. If you've seen my other videos, you be the judge. Maybe you have experience, hands-on experience with both of them. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, down below here, you do have your climate control settings. And this is also some shortcut buttons. So you have your map, navigation, radio, media, sync, track setup, and the custom button over here. And then again, you have some pretty premium materials on all of them. It's nicely displayed. As you can see, if the scent bottle was installed in here, you can have the three different settings on that, as far as whether it's the lightest or the strongest scent. Heated steering wheel, you can sync. And right underneath here, you have cup holders. There's another console. So this is where you can control the infotainment system if you didn't like, to use the touch screen. And you have the volume, back, home menu, tune button. The little button in the middle right here, this is your fingerprint reader. So if I was registered on here, it would recognize me and would set up the vehicle the way that I wanted to set up, or that I set it up before. Here's your, of course, gear shifters right here. So you have the reverse, neutral, and then drive. And once we have it in reverse, let's check out this rear view camera. So you can see nice active trajectory lines, very nice quality of the picture on the camera. You do have the several different settings on here. You have the side view, you have the top view, wide view in the back. You also have the 360, which I believe you can also adjust the color of this vehicle, which this is definitely not what we have, some kind of greenish color. But anyways, I can tell you from top down that I'm, sitting here between the two vehicles, and, it gives you like the 360 view. Now let's put it in park and let's see what else we have. So, of course, right down below, you do have the ventilated heated seats. You do have the park assist drive modes. You tap it and tap it again and tap it again. This is how you change it. Parking sensors. And these are for your doors, to open. So let's see. I'm going to unlock it. Oh, I do have it in reverse. Nope. Gear is already selected. No, actually, I have to do it like this. And again, it opens up just a little bit, allows me to open it to the width that I would like to. I'm not sure what these are. Oh, these are closing. So if I do have the doors open, let's check this out. I do have the doors open right now. All I have to do is press this button. Boom, closes by itself. Again, cup holders. This is your wireless charging. Now, how do we open this? Press the button, it opens up. You do have a little ambient lighting inside. 2 USB ports right in the back, as well as the 12-volt power adapter. And right on top here, we do have the HomeLink system. There's no mirror camera right in here. You do have the sunglasses holder. You can open up the shade in the back if you'd like to, or you can open up the front sunroof as well. This is one-touch operation, and there you go, it slides open. Nice wind deflector, and you can close that up the same way. You do have, of course, the LED lighting, and This is your connected services, and this is your SOS button. This is a pretty premium vehicle. Let's see how it drives. This Genesis really looks premium, and it does have a lot of amenities that could be optional on some of the competitors. But before we talk about the price, let me mention one thing, that this vehicle right here is priced with destination at $100,370, and the only paid option that's on it is the exterior paint color, which is called the Vic Black Pearl. Everything else in standard. So now we're going to be comparing it price-wise. If you're looking at the Mercedes-Benz S500, which is the 6-cylinder model, it starts at about $115,000 with the 4MATIC, as well as this was a 4-wheel drive. With the BMW, that starts at about $96,000 for the rear-wheel drive vehicle at the 740, but the 760 starts at about $116,000. So, I mean, definitely quite a bit discrepancy as far as the price. This top of the line tops off at $100,000. Mercedes starts at $115,000. So still quite a bit of difference. Now, is it worth it though to have a Genesis versus a Mercedes or BMW? Well, I don't know. You tell me based on what you see so far. Now I'm going to take it for a spin, but before I do that, I want to point out a key, because this is different than what you get on other Genesis. Now I'm going to show you this one. This is the black key. It does have the Genesis logo on one side. You do have the summon function like you've seen on some of the other vehicles from Hyundai, that basically can pull out the car from the parking space and pull it back in. It does have the remote start. And on the other side, of course, you have the lock, unlock, trunk, and panic button. And you have the same key, but in white color. Now, they have it in this little pouch, so it doesn't get dirty. I'm not going to take it out. But it's the same, basically, key, just in white color, so you have the black and white key. Kind of pretty cool feature on that. Now let's take it for a spin and let's see how it drives. Now, as far as the numbers, you know, the Genesis has been tested about 5.1 seconds 0 to 60, which is just a touch slower than Mercedes-Benz and just a touch faster than the BMW 740. So it's 5.2 seconds on BMW, 4.9 seconds on the Mercedes 6-cylinder. But sometimes it's more than just the numbers. Sometimes it's the feel of the vehicle, and I know it's going to be tough to beat the Germans in this game. So let's see what it does. First of all, I got to tell you that sitting in this vehicle and, you know, looking at this rear view camera, seeing how long this vehicle is, I feel pretty comfortable trusting all of the support electronics in it, and it feels pretty darn good. So this one doesn't have this rear wheel steering that you know, I've been talking so much at the Mercedes-Benz when I was driving it, because that 10-degree in the rear does give you a lot better steering or turning diameter. Now I have this parking lot right here that's open. Now I'm gonna move this vehicle, make a circle, and see how tight or how not tight it is. Right, steering wheel all the way to the left. Let's make a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just a little bit over 4. It is a pretty tight vehicle. Now I want to make sure that I test it out in the sport mode, as this is probably the most driver-oriented mode. What's interesting too, that if I hold on to this drive mode right here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I have it in sport mode, and if I hold on to it, I can go in the chauffeur mode. And basically what it does, it relaxes the seat in the front right here. It doesn't move anything, which I kind of thought it would move this front seat forward and would create more room for the rear passenger, but it doesn't. So I'm not sure what else it does. But I'll flip it back to the sport mode. That's where I'm going to test it out at. Very nice and quiet, so definitely the sound insulation works perfectly. I'm going to do kind of a half throttle over here and see how it accelerates in the normal circumstances. Pretty nice. Get it up to about 45 miles per hour, nothing too crazy. Now this road, if you remember me testing out some of the other Hyundai and Genesis vehicles, it transmits a lot of road noise to a car. So this is a pretty crappy road, and this one feels actually pretty quiet. So it definitely a better sound insulation that we've seen obviously on the Hyundai Elantras, so it doesn't transfer as much sound inside the cabin. Overall, the visibility is good. I do like the size of the mirrors. This could be restricted if somebody would be sitting in the back seat. That's why I thought this would definitely benefit from having this rear mirror camera. I think this is a nice safety feature, but it feels not as big as it really is. Now, as a reminder, this is 208 inches long, so it is a large sedan. Doesn't feel it like when you're driving. Now, sitting in this vehicle, it compares, in my opinion, a little bit more to a Mercedes in the comfort mode, or maybe even a Lexus. It feels like you're sitting on the couch in front of a TV. Even though it is in the sport mode, I don't really feel any sportiness in it. Now, I haven't done the acceleration, which I'm gonna do now, but this is definitely more of a comfort-oriented feel than sporty. We're gonna do a quick 360 over here, or we're gonna do a quick 180, I should say, and stop on this road, wait to make sure nobody is behind me and nothing is too close in the front, and let's check out the acceleration. Now we got it up to 60. Well, does it go fast? Yeah. Does it feel like it goes fast? Not really. It feels still very comfortable. Now, I'm not sure what the real time was. Maybe it was, you know, somewhere in the 5 seconds. Definitely didn't feel like it. So more comfortable than sporty. That's one thing that I can tell you. Like I mentioned before, it would be really tough to compete with the Germans in that category, that they can make this super comfortable car sporty. But again, you know, we're looking probably apples to apples. If you were to have the same equipment on the Mercedes-Benz S500, we're probably looking at about $20,000–$25,000 difference. So, I mean, can you sacrifice a little bit? Is it a competitor that's worthy to the Mercedes-Benz? I think it is. I just don't think it's quite there yet. Same thing with the BMW. I mean, granted, both of those vehicles were around since really the 50s. And so you have 70 years versus a brand that's just emerged in the last decade. So definitely a nice work on the Genesis part, and definitely a worthy competitor in the luxury segment. Well, let me know what you think about it based on what you've seen. Maybe you have one, maybe you've had the Mercedes-Benz and test driven this one, and what's your opinion on it? I really would like to hear that from you. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned one thing from this video, and if you did, if you like it, don't forget to give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please hit that little red subscribe button that's at the bottom of the screen. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.